Lots of tweets coming through as always, Gaz.
Ian, he says Spud's giving a real serious, boring AW-style delivery on the Fox Footy pre-game. Need to sort that out quickly or won't be allowed back on. You are absolutely 100% right, Ian. If he brings that real... Look at it, we can actually see him. He's got the most earnest face on, like he's splitting the atoms, Spud. He's just sitting there going, oh, yes, Ed, that's right, sellers. I want to take you to task about Matthew Kreuzer, because he's a man that we've, I certainly have been watching closely for a long time, and we've had many, many arguments about him, you and I.
Yep.
You've defended him admirably, I would say, admirably, in the face of some ordinary performances. Well, and behold, last week you threw him up for trade.
Well, I think you need to know the context of...
I'd love to know the
I'll
context.
give it to you now if you just give me a second. And the question was raised by the Warrior on AFL.com, about 80,000 hits a week. If you want to jump on a Monday and have a listen to the Warrior and
Good show, Chief.
What
is it called?
Access all areas on a Monday on AFL.com.
I've never heard of it.
Very good. No, it's not your demographic. We don't want you watching.
And
For the youth.
The question was raised in the context, what do Carlton need to do given they've earmarked the fact there may be massive changes to the list? So it was a question with that note. So, I would think if you are going forward, Gaz, and there is a number one draft
Don't back
pick
away
available,
from it, Darce.
just let me finish what I'm saying, Damo. Or I'll come across there and I'll sort you out in a bit too. I said you need to give up something really good to get something good, and you don't get gun forwards that come around that often. Tom Murphy, we are told. Tom Boyd, we're told, is going to be a star. Essendon gave away 3 draft picks to get Matthew Lloyd. Matty Kreuzer, the Giants are desperate for an established ruckman. He's played 100 games.
Man.
And I love him, and he's a good player.
Just threw him under the bus.
But in the context of number one draft pick for a ruckman, you need to be in the Dean Cox mould. You need to be in the impact of a game of a Natanui mould. Otherwise, you can maybe develop Hampson. You can maybe develop Warnock. And if you can do that at the same time, you give
that flimsy.
Give away something, Chief. You get the gun forward in the competition by trading away someone who I rate really highly, who will turn into a good player.
For a bloke you supposedly love, you're shipping him off very quickly.
I'd never go down that path with my boys.
Do you get a number one draft pick for Sean Hampson?
Mate,
do you get a number one draft pick for Eddie Betts?
I'd package up all 7 ruckmen and ship them off if I could get the number one pick for them. You know that. But we're talking about a bloke that you have gone into bat for so many times.
Yeah.
I think you've run out of patience and you've realised that maybe the reputation's bigger than performance.
Exactly
Matty Kreuzer, who I've had this conversation with, will take that with the respect that it's in, because he is a man who has got some real currency.
I've heard he's dirty.
I've heard
Won't
he
talk
has
to the Duke
filthied up like a no man.
It was a little awkward on the hot breakfast when he came in the other week, I
It
must
does.
admit.
What I don't like here is you're lacking conviction
No
in what
doubt
you
about
said.
it. I'm not
When
lacking
you say
conviction.
something like you said the other day, great statement. People are still writing about it today.
You are a tool.
People are still writing about what you said today.
And that's not why you say things.
When you say something, it
nothing's
carries
like
and
you
people
write
rate
things,
it.
Damon. That's not the reason you do it. You do it because you believe that, and I would do that trade now. If you could get this number one draft pick and you had to offer up, I would back myself in if I was Mick Moldhouse to turn Hampson and Warnock into good enough players that you didn't lose enough in the ruck. And I would say I will stake my future on getting a gun key forward, because everyone in the game wants a gun key forward. And I would do that. I would do that trade now. And sometimes you got to make hard calls on the people you love, Chief. And I did it.
He fell into an acceptable response, didn't he?
That was better.
You know what hurts me most? It took Damo to prod him into doing it. That's what was the most sort of thing.
If you flogs gave me some clear air, I would have got to it a lot quicker.
That's how we work on access all
Whereas
areas.
they don't back away, Duke, and Duke, and all right.
Tell you what will be interesting, Wolf. We'll watch the way that he calls Kreuzer tonight and see how things go.
There will be a lot to be said from that, because once you jump off, you start seeing, when what was courageous marking attempt becomes, spilt mark. That's what your sort of stuff you'll see.
Or will he clumsily try to climb back on?
One out the front row is
He
giving
may.
opinion, hosting, and doing
He
the
may
whole.
overcompensate too. That's
All
the
right,
other thing.
2 experts in the back who rate themselves. What would you do with the Carlton list? Just sit there and do nothing?
Not that we rate
Don't put it
ourselves.
back on them, Darce.
I just
You-
told him.
Warriors turned on him now.
If you're not happy with my suggestion, offer up another. You think Carlton have got a list that's going to win them a premiership under Mick Moldhouse the next 3 years?
Duke, I'm shipping him off. I'm with you.
Or what's your issue then?
Well, the issue is that you've defended this bloke and said he's the gun, now you've come to the realisation that you were previously wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm saying his currency is strong enough
You
to
were
trade
wrong.
to get a number one draft
He's
pick.
like the Fonz, he won't say,
You at times have painted him as a
Polyfarmer.
combination of Polly Farmer, Simon Madden and Gary Dempsey. Now that's how high you rate him. And now
a reasonable amount of exaggeration in that statement.
There
I would
is
have thought.
not.
I've been
No, there's not.
a loyal supporter.
And now you're going to ship him off.
Yep.
What would you do
Staggering.
with Carlton this then?
I tell you what I would do. Once I claim someone, like Wadey, or well,
here we go.
it's like me saying, let's ship Juddy off it. You know, after I've jumped on when no one else, I jumped straight on at the start.
Jumped on. He went
that-
pick 3 and he was best on ground his first
There's a
game.
way out there, call, wouldn't it?
Kreuzer
Good on
went
you,
pick
Gas.
one, Peanut Head. I just stay with them, Duke. I unlike you, I stick with them and I get around them and I support them.